Today's going to be a bit of a lower energy budget with me session. I did just get back yesterday from the UK. There's been an illness in the family. And so I was over there being with family and visiting my relatives. So we are a bit low energy today, but I do want to thank you all for helping me hit 1,000 subscribers. I know right now I think it's dipped back below, but I was able to become monetized while it was at 1,000 subscribers. I think I've made about $1 so far off AdSense. So thank you guys so much for always being here and supporting and subscribing. And that is something I've been working towards since I started this channel. And I'm so excited to finally be there. And it feels great to have reached that milestone. So thank you all again. Today we're budgeting my second paycheck for November. Okay, so I do actually have a lot of overspending from this last minute trip I took to the UK to be with my family. And that is what you see here. And for me personally, this was a good use of my emergency fund. And I'm really glad that, not that this happened, obviously, but it happened when it happened. And so I had the money set aside available to use for a situation like this where I didn't have travel money. I had just the limited money I had set aside since my trip last month. Some people might have a separate category for situations like this, or perhaps have some in travel just at all times to make sure when something like this comes up, they have the money. But for me, this is emergency fund, a good use of that. So I do have to take care of that before we move into December, because as you can see, this money here in Ready to Assign will disappear if we go into December, because it is covering the cash overspending since I did e-transfer a large sum of money for my plane ticket. So let's just go ahead right now and cover this from emergency fund. Hit OK there. So that takes care of that. Now we'll go down and just do the payroll deductions so that that is all taken care of. We'll reset the available amounts. So this amount, $2,026.84, was deposited into my checking account. And it seems I have maxed out my EI contributions for the year. There's a maximum that you pay in during any given year. And so my salary is a bit higher than what that max salary percentage, what have you, is. So I have paid in what is due for the year. I don't think I will max out on my CPP contributions. They did introduce that second tier. So I believe I'll be just shy of the max for CPP for the year. But that is okay. My paycheck should be now over $2,000 for the remainder of the year. So that is awesome. I think, is December another triple, because this year is supposed to be a triple, I forget how to say it, because like a 3 paycheck month, it happens 3 times instead of 2 times. So it happened in January, except we were paid on the 31st of December. So I think I put it in YNAB on the 1st. Anyways, and then we have one in July, and I'm pretty sure we have one in December. So that's really exciting. That wasn't the point. So we will go into December. Actually, first, I think I'm going to, no, you know what? We'll go into December 1st, because I am 1 month ahead. That is part of my 3-month emergency fund. So let's go where we left off. I think something happened. My Peloton subscription. So I did have to pull out some of the entertainment money. So if that looks a little bit less than what it was when we last spoke, that is why. So we will finish entertainment off with the $722 it needs. We will add 75 to beauty, 75 to clothing, 50 to hobbies, 50 to collectibles and books, 50 for patio and playoff season, 40 for birthday gifts, $20 for miscellaneous gifts, $116.66 for Christmas gifts, which will finish out, I think. Yes, I've met my target for the year. Yay. I just started spending from it, which is why it is not at 1,000. So that is really exciting. This is super fun to have all the money preset aside for my shopping. What a crazy concept. We will do all of the annual-ish subscriptions and whatnot here. We will keep chugging along with travel because I do want to build that back up, but where we will pull back on some savings is going to be wedding. I'm going to, once December 1st comes around, snooze this. I'm quite comfortable with where this is at right now, given the fact that I'm not even engaged. So, and I know my partner hasn't started saving for a wedding. So I'm definitely ahead of the game for that. And so while I rebuild my emergency fund, I am fine pulling back on that one. I will continue to put money aside for home sweet home and retirement contributions, big ticket events, home maintenance, not doing anything with extra mortgage payment right now. Technology gets 75, furniture gets 25. Home decor is not currently getting anything. I've just been spending and moving the money from Home Sweet Home, which is kind of a catch-all category, more like a savings category, and then I can distribute it. You know, if I buy a piece of furniture, I can take money from here, things like that. I will still put into vehicle replacement. And that is December funded. It is not showing it because it's taking into account the credit. Oh, actually, the credit card should be mostly good now, except for reimbursements, but it's taking into account the payroll deductions. So if I just click on everything else, that should show the 300 for wedding, and that's it. So we do have, $411.37. So I am going to I bought another record. This so far is my problem child, is the collectibles and books with my new budget post house sale. Dining out probably as well, because last month I spent $400. Okay, well, that was my first full month after selling my house. Entertainment also high. Holy moly. So my quality of life is getting some love for sure. I think the targets are, what are the targets? 575. And I've already spent 874. And last month I spent, oh my goodness. Okay, well, at least we're trending down. I think I'm just going to cover this from ready to assign. And yes. So then the rest of this I'm going to put into the emergency fund to start replenishing some of the money that was spent there. And yeah, I guess I'm not sure how quickly. I don't know if I want to use the third paycheck in December. I probably should, shouldn't I? To try and whack that. I think I'm going to try and remember that number and try to replenish up to what it was, because obviously there will be some interest deposited into my account. That was just from the end of September there, so it wasn't that much. I think this month it was, I can't remember. Or I guess however much I moved to travel. So we will get that back up to around $8,000 because my monthly income is around $4,000. And so I have 2 months set aside in an emergency fund. And then the last month is being a month ahead. So I'm just really glad that I don't feel really any stress around the situation other than the actual situation. I'm glad to not have financial stress surrounding the situation, and I feel very blessed and glad that, my house sale went smoothly and now I am saving quite a bit of money so that something like that was able to be done and I don't have to have any, bad feelings about having spent that money. So that is the budget for this month, the end of November. We'll try and write out the month with the money I have left in quality of life. And yes, next month, 3 paychecks. Super excited. I'm also excited to have a YouTube paycheck at some point. I've been kind of wondering what to do with those paychecks. Obviously, set some aside for taxes, but I was thinking about doing like a poll every time I get a YouTube paycheck and asking you guys what you think I should put the money towards, just because it's going to be kind of lower amounts. I think the threshold is $100 to be paid out. So I don't mind kind of letting you guys take the reins on that, maybe for the first couple as a thank you for getting me monetized. You can tell me what to do with my money and I can do it that way just to have a little fun with it. So thank you guys for watching as always. And thank you again for helping me get to 1,000 subscribers. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.